Hey guys, Droby Tech here, and we are taking a look at the folio case for the Moto Edge Plus, and I think this case could have been more awesome, or I should say the idea of a stylus being in the Moto Edge Plus could have been more awesome had they done this a little differently. To start out with how it looks, it is a folding case. So right off the bat, if you don't like these style of cases, then you're really not going to like this case. I personally don't love these kind of cases. It's okay. I don't know. I don't like having to flip it open every time to use the phone. It's fine, you know, it's just after a while, it starts to get old to me. But I know some people do like these style of cases. So if you do love these kind, you think it adds some extra protection, have it flip around the front and cover the screen, then, you know, you'll probably like this. But for me personally, I would have rather it didn't have the flip part. Just looking at it and the style of the case, as you can see, it does change how the lock screen looks. So you can see the screen through this little visor right here, which is just a piece of plastic. It looks nice. It feels nice. It's this very soft touch material. But I will say one thing. I chose white, and boy, oh boy, do I regret my decision. It is already getting like smudgy and dirty. So I recommend if you're going to get this phone, if you're going to get this case, get it in black. You know, there are two options on Motorola's website. And if we just take a look at on Motorola.com, you can get it in black or white. I would recommend getting the black. I think it'll look less dirty over time. It'll get less smudgy. This thing is just, I only had it for, you know, a few days, and it's already getting pretty darn smudgy and dirty looking. And I can only imagine what it's going to look like after, you know, a month, 2 months, 3 months. I think it's going to look pretty bad. It is $80, as you can see here on the website. It ain't cheap. It's an expensive case. So, you know, is it worth $80? In my opinion, I'm going to say no. I don't think this is worth $80. I think this case would have been better at like $39, $39.99. I would spend about $40 for this. That's about it. I don't think it's worth $80. I think they're charging a little bit too much for it. And let me get into some of the problems that I do have with it. So right off the bat, if you're going to get it in black. I really highly recommend that. I don't know if you can see, but it's already starting to get smudgy and dirty. So that's what I recommend. The white looks nice, but I just don't think it's going to last long. Now, there is a magnet in the back, so, you know, that is nice. So it kind of does clip down with the magnet, and you can fold it like this and then have it sit. Let's see if I can get it to sit. So that is cool. I do like that functionality, and it'll sit up like this too. And you could always, you know, set it like that. Pretty cool. It does work well. And like I said, it feels like good quality. Like they made a nice case. You know, is it super protective? Not really, in my opinion. If we look at the bottom here, there's a lot of openings along the sides, the top, you know. So if you drop this, I don't know exactly how well it would do. You know, I bought this with my money, so I'm not really going to do a drop test with it, unfortunately, but I wouldn't imagine it would hold up super, super well. I think it would be okay for minor drops. I don't think it'd be good for some major drops. I don't know how well the phone would actually hold up. Now, remember, with the design of this, if you want to take a picture, you are going to be, you know, you're going to have to leave the flap open. Otherwise, you know, it'll block the camera. So that's a little bit of an annoyance. That's another reason I don't like these style of cases. It's not the end of the world, but it does bother me a little bit that you do have to kind of have this flap here when you're trying to take pictures. Oh, hello, Oliver. Okay. You're just destroying the shot, huh? Okay, buddy. You're gonna stand right there? That's the spot you want to stand? Okay. That's no problem at all. It's not like I was doing a video or nothing. So yeah, we'll just do super close-ups with this video, really, really close, so you can get some idea of the texture and the detail now that, and even this part is getting a little dirty. I'm so bummed I chose white. I'm thinking about returning it and doing black, if I was gonna get it again. But anyways, you can take pictures, obviously, but it has to have the flap open. So as Ollie destroys and knocks everything over, I would say, you know, as far as like holding the phone like this with the flap closed, it feels good. Like, it feels fine. You know, there is a bit of a, thanks, Ollie. Thanks, buddy. There is a bit of a, you know, like weird little gap because the S Pen, well, not the S Pen, sorry. The pen needs to fit in there. But it feels pretty comfortable. It's not so bad. It doesn't feel as thick as some of these other folio cases, so not bad. I think Motorola did a good job quality-wise, you know, as good as you can get with this style of case. Now, the pen. Here's what I did not realize when I bought this. It's a rechargeable one. So I didn't know that. I thought it was just, you know, a non-charging type stylus, but it's not. So when you put it on here, it's doing the reverse charging to charge it. But there's a caveat to that, and I'm going to explain that. And it brings up the little note thing when you pull out the pen. So you get your little couple options here. You know, you can record and do a, what is it, a GIF, however people want to pronounce that. You can pop into the camera with Cinematograph. You can do some artwork, and I'll show you guys how this looks actually here. Let's take this one. You know, it is a nice pen. You know, I'm not an artiste, so it's you know, it's not my forte, but you know, it is very exact. As you can see, it's a very fine tip. It's not like the ones on the Moto Edge Stylus where it's that little ball type stylus. This is much nicer. It's much more like the S Pen from Samsung, and it is, you know, you can go light, push a little harder. So it is, you know, depending on the app you're using, I think there is some pressure sensitivity, which is nice. It is a actual, you know, Bluetooth charging pen. It's not just one that slides in that doesn't need to charge. So that might be a pro for some people, a con for others. For me, it's kind of a con because I don't want to have to charge it. And here's the weird thing. When you plug it back in, when you slide it in here, right, you think that it's just going to be charging it, but it's not. If we look up here at this little icon, it's not charging, and that's because the only way to charge it, here's the weird thing, and I'll show you in the little stylus manager. Charge your stylus in 2 steps. So insert your stylus into the phone case, and then position your phone. Place your phone facing up or face down, then your stylus will start to charge. You can also charge a stylus by placing on a QI-compatible wireless charging pad. So I didn't know that, because when I first was using this the first day, I was like, it's not charging. Like, I was sliding it in the back, and I'm like holding the phone, and I'm like, why isn't it charging? And then the pen died, and I was like, what the heck? I don't know how to charge this, and I thought it was broken until I read that, and I was like, oh, so what it wants you to do is you literally have to sit it down and not touch it, and then it'll charge. Other than using a wireless charging pad, that is how you charge it, or you can sit it face up, and you just can't touch it. Because if you touch it or move it, or if it's on a not so level surface, it won't charge. So I don't like that at all. I don't know if that's just how all phones would be with the charging on the back. I don't know. I don't like that, though. That's something that really does bother me. I want it to charge the whole time. Like, I don't want to have to sit my phone down to charge it. Now, at night, it's no big deal, but there's just been times where it's kind of finicky. Like last night, for instance, I put it on the charger, I sat it down, I went to sleep, and when I woke up, it didn't charge it. And I guess it was like, you know, I guess it wasn't placed perfectly, and the little charging icon didn't come on. It'll show you a little charging icon here. So that's kind of a bummer for me. I don't really fully understand that. I mean, I guess I just wish that it didn't need to be set down to charge. And maybe someone knows in the comments why it needs to be set down to charge. I guess the reverse wireless charging only works that way. I don't know, but the bottom line is I don't like that at all. I want it to charge while I'm using the phone, and you can't use the phone and have it charge at the same time. So at night, it's no big deal, but if it dies during the day, it's like, I guess you need to have a wireless charging pad or something. I don't know. It's just a little annoying. I wish it was more like the iPads where it just charges it while you're using it, but it doesn't. So just keep that in mind, because it made me literally think I had one that was broken and that I needed to get a new one, but it wasn't. It's just that's how it charges. So I wish it was a pen that didn't need to charge at all. That's what I would have preferred, because then I also wouldn't have needed the case. Because then I could have got the little loops you can buy off Amazon. I could have just attached it to a case I have and then just held the pen on there. But it needs to charge, otherwise it won't work. It's a Bluetooth pen, so I don't know, to each their own. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would prefer it be a Bluetooth pen, but I just would rather it not be, and I'd rather be able to put whatever case I want on it. So now you kind of sort of need the case, unless you're going to just charge it with a wireless charging pad, which is, again, a little annoying. I don't know. Personally, I don't really like that. It just kind of kills the case for me a bit. It's very finicky with how you have to sit it to charge it. I'm just not a huge fan. It does work. It's just sometimes if you're not careful, you better check at night that it actually is charging it, because it might not be. So I found that a little bothersome. But anyways, let's talk about the pen a little bit more. We'll take this out. Yeah, there it goes into the notes, which I almost never want to use. So let's take a look at just functionality. It feels good. Like, it feels a lot like the Samsung S Pen. It almost looks a lot like it too. That's just kind of what it feels like. It's pretty nice, pretty responsive. Like I said, if you're into doing art, I'm sure there's apps that would take advantage of this more than the apps that I use. But for me, like getting signatures for my job and stuff like that, this is perfect. It's nice and exact. And when I'm using the GoDaddy Studio app, I started making this wallpaper on this phone with the pen, and it works super well for what I need it for. It's very exact. If I need to go in and kind of edit out certain things and cut things out with the eraser, this is perfect. It's excellent for that kind of stuff. Like, for instance, let's try to cut this a little bit. Let's trim off some stuff. So go to the eraser, and I want to cut this little line out, because I don't want it to look like such an exact line, and just kind of round it out a little bit. And then we can come across here, and again, we can kind of cut some of that off. Make it look a little bit less squared off, or I could just kind of take it out completely. And then we can go in and we can add another image. I can just go and put this where I want. I can go in and blend it, and then I can go to mask again, and I can cut out what I don't want. I just want it there. Okay, that looks pretty cool. Can go in and add I don't know what I want to add. Maybe a little splatter effect here, and we can move it back. Just kind of got this splatter effect. I don't know. So it is pretty cool. For this kind of stuff, I think it's awesome. I really do enjoy using it. And for at my job, when I need to get signatures and stuff, this is great. This is perfect for signing documents. I really have no complaints with the actual functionality of the pen. I wish I had better art apps to maybe show like the pressure sensitivity and stuff for people that are like artists. I just do graphic design, and this is perfect for that. But, you know, it being a Bluetooth pen, it does seem like a pretty legit competitor to the S Pen. I think that Motorola did a good job with it. I just think that it needing the case and it not really charging perfectly every single time I put it in, that does bother me a bit. It just seems a little bit too finicky for my liking. And I don't really love folio cases. I mean, you could probably cut this off, honestly, if you want to kind of do a do-it-yourself kind of case and get rid of this, if you didn't want it. But, you know, again, it's unfortunate that I have to be linked to this case. And I kind of just wish it wasn't powered like some of the Samsung ones were. I'm thinking of like I had the S21 Ultra with the S Pen, and I bought a case for it, and I could just stick the S Pen in the back. And it didn't need to be charged, and it worked great, and I really enjoyed that. But, you know, this one, like I said, it does need to be charged. Keep that in mind. You can wirelessly charge it, or you have to set it like this, and then just don't touch it, and it'll start charging. But the minute you touch it, it's not charging. So during the day, if it dies and you're using your phone and you need to use it, like, you can't, it's not going to charge while you're touching it. So just keep that in mind. You know, it's a nice case. It feels very nice, very like almost like soft, touchy type material. It's very nice. It gets extremely dirty in this white color though. My goodness, I'm gonna have to like wipe this down with an alcohol pad. So again, if you're gonna get it, I recommend getting it in black. I'd also probably recommend waiting for it to come down in price a little bit. And pretty much the only website I've found this on is Motorola. I haven't seen it on Amazon. I haven't seen it on Best Buy. So you're probably gonna have to go to Motorola to get it. They do ship it pretty quickly though, which is nice. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got, guys. It's not a bad case. I think it's not quite as good as what Samsung offers in their phones, though. Also, if I really could nitpick, I wish that Motorola had just had a slot in the phone for the pen. That would have been freaking awesome, just like Samsung does with their Note series. I would have loved that. But, you know, I'm glad they offered this. It is an option. But, you know, remember, it's expensive. You know, are you willing to pay that much for it? I think it's more worth like $40. I think it's a better price if you want to wait for it to come down, or maybe there's deals. But if you do want to get it now, you just want the pen functionality. Like I said, I would probably pick it up in black. I think it'll get way less dirty and just look nicer over a longer period of time. But otherwise, everything works fine. If you can get the charging right and just lay it down perfectly, you know, it's fine. And if you like folio cases, I think you'll definitely like this one. It's a very nice feeling case. It does feel premium. I just don't think it feels, you know, $80+ premium. But that's just me, guys. If you have any questions below, let me know. If there's anything I didn't cover with this case that you'd like to know, please leave a comment below. Please like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.